Hello and welcome to my first tutorial for Visual Basic 2008, and today we're going to be making a Hello World application. So this is what it will look like when you first open Visual Basic 2008, and as you can see you have the start page and the start page tab, and to close this tab down all you do is press this little X over here, and you're going to want to open a new project. So you can click this new project button, or you can go to File, New Project, and make sure Windows Forms application is highlighted. And we're going to be making Hello World, so we're just changing this name to Hello World, and hit enter. After it loads, your form will come up. And right now, in this view, you actually have an application that works right now. All you have to do is click this green arrow to start debugging it, or you can click on the F5 button, and when you do, it'll come up and it has all the functionality of Windows applications. You can move it around, you can resize it any way you want to, you can minimize, maximize, anything you do with a regular application. But it doesn't do anything. It's a very boring application. You have to add some use to it. So we're going to close that down, and you can edit your application right here. What you want to do is go to the toolbox, hover your mouse over it, or click it, it'll come open. And go to your common controls, and you'll see button. So we're going to click and drag a button onto the form. And there's our button. We can drag it down to the bottom or anywhere we want to. And as you can see, you've got the little blue lines showing you good spots to put the button, good spacing from the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop it there. And as you can see, in the bottom right corner, you have button 1 selected, and you can change the properties of button 1. And I'm going to change the text property, which changes the text on the button, to starts. You change it to go, or anything you want to change it to, it doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to click on the form. I can change properties of the form, like the text here. I'll change this text to Hello World. And then start position, I can change that to center screen. And let's see what else. I'm going to change maximize box to false. You can double click it to change it, or you can click it and use the drop down. Doesn't matter. But sometimes when you allow people to resize or maximize your application, it just looks funny. Some of your controls may be cut off. So usually you want to change that to false. And also change form border style to fixed single, so then it's not resizable. Alright, that's all I want to change right now. So I'm going to go back and hit this debug button again, and as you can see, we have this application with all the changes that we've made. You can't resize it. It has no handles that come up. You can't maximize the buttons grayed out. You can still minimize. We have this start button here. When you click it, it doesn't do anything. So what we're going to have to do is change that. So we're going to highlight the button so it has the handles around it, and then double click it. And when you double click it, this view comes up. So what this is a public class for Form 1. So all this code in this view is code that corresponds to Form 1. Anything in here is code that will execute when you do certain actions in Form 1. And this is an in-class tag, so just everything in here just associates with Form 1. This is private sub and in sub, so everything in between here happens when you click button 1. As you can see, button 1 underscore click. So we're going to write some code in here so when you click the button, something happens. And what we're going to do is put in message box dots show open parenthesis open quotation mark Hello World. If I can spell. Hello World. And then you're going to close parenthesis, or I'm sorry, close quotation, and then close parenthesis, and you have written all the code that you need. And as you can see at the top, you have two tabs. You have form1.vb and form1.vb design, and you can click between them. The design view obviously shows the design of your form, and then this view shows the code that you've written. So we're actually done with this view, and we can close it down. So all you have to do is click the X button like you did with the start page, and it takes us to the design view. So now what we can do is we can debug our application once again, and it moves around like it did before. Nothing has changed except when you click the start button, you get your hello world message. You can click as many times as you want to. It always executes the same code, and you've created your first application. So now what you want to do is save it for later use, and you're going to go to File, Save All. Now you're going to give it a name and a solution name. Now it's probably best for now if your solution name is exactly the same as your name. Doesn't really matter. And by default it saves in your Documents folder under Visual Studio and Projects. So we're just going to leave this checked for now and click Save. And then after you save it, you can click on Build and then Build Hello World. And what that does, it just puts it in the folder in a built state. So you're going to go to your Documents, go to Visual Studio 2008, go to Projects, and then find Hello World. Go to the Hello World folder, go to Bin, and then go to Release. And here's your exe. So you can move this exe anywhere, you can copy it, send it to friends, and when you click it, there's your application. You click Start, message box comes up. It's a working application. And I'm going to go ahead and close out of this view and out of this view. And then as you can see, it's still displayed over here in the Solution Explorer. So if I want to get to Form 1 again, I can just double click it, or I can right click it and click View Designer, or click View Code, whatever I need to do. And when I'm done with this, and I want to open it later maybe, go to File, Close Project, and then it's closed. If I want to open it again, I go to File, Open Project. I'll find the project, and I can click the .sln file here, and it's reopened. I double click this, form comes up, so you can work on it at a later time. So thank you for watching my first video tutorial for Visual Basic 2008. I hope it's helped you learn a lot. You should watch the later videos in the series to become more proficient with Visual Basic 2008. Thank you for watching.